Today's topic, a comment we often get is that me and Preach are biased against women. And what I would say to that is, yes, we are.
Yeah.
Hey, you're super biased against women.
Yes.
Me too.
Hashtag.
I as well. I don't want to get demonetized.
I just said hashtag.
True.
But you know why we're biased against women? Because that's who we date. That's the experiences that we have. You see, I was working for a company that was, I was working collections for a company, for a phone company. And I really thought people didn't like that company. I was biased because that's the experience that I had. I was dealing with unhappy customers. So my vision was that that company was doing bad. But my department was dealing with customers that don't pay. So I'm going to, of course, have an amount of experiences with people that are bad customers. So when you're heterosexual and you're male and you date women, your experiences are going to be with that. I can comment on experiences that women have, but only as a listener and not as someone that actually happened. So I don't know how it feels to be like that. I can have empathy, but I can't fully feel how it is.
You definitely give me Whitney Houston vibes.
Well, yeah, well, you know, I'm more of a Shaka Khan person, you know. I'm every woman. But at the end of the day, I still can't feel like a woman. Shania Twain.
So I'm going to say this about this, right? We all have our biases. And if you don't know what the definition of bias, it's a leaning towards. It's something that may encourage one form of conclusion against another, right? It's a tendency. People over the last 60 to 70 years have kind of taken the word and means that it's inherently bad. Not all biases are bad. Biases are normal, and we all have them. Whether you're a scientist, a toddler, or whatever, you have biases towards your family. You have biases towards people from your community. You have biases towards people of your gender, people from your university versus other universities. We all have these, right? And so it's important to acknowledge that we are biased. I don't know what it's like to date men. Some of you are surprised. I thought you was gay, nigga. No, I don't know. So a lot of the intricacies of what ladies are dealing with and some of their struggles aren't going to be voiced by me, because most of what we speak on this channel is generally either from most of it's from it has a visceral basis, meaning it's born from experiences we had or things that we witnessed or hear that we hear our friends say. And if most of our friends are men, then that's what we're going to also assimilate a lot of, right? So the nuances of the female experience, I'm just not going to know. But the idea of walking home late at night and feeling extremely unsafe, right? The idea of being around a group of dudes, the way women feel unsafe, and I'm not going to know. I can sympathize, but I'll never be able to empathize with your experience because I don't know what it's like to walk through life and to be sexualized that way. I don't understand, but I can sympathize and listen. But that's not going to make for great content, right? Unless I want to be a Derek Jackson and pretend and be a liar. I can sympathize and be like, all right, let me hear your experience. If you come to this channel, understand you're getting something that is trying to be objective as much as possible, but there's going to be some element of subjectivity. There's going to be some element of bias involved. And if you're not enjoying that, go hear a female voice who echoes your thoughts. But on things that are gendered, yeah, we're going to speak on it from a certain perspective. Even on race relations, I acknowledge that we got biases. Because I don't know what it's like to walk through life as a white person. But I have had experiences that have been based on race that affected me as a black person. I don't know what it's like to walk through life as an Asian person or a Latino. Right? It's different. I don't know what it's like to walk through life as a short person. But I did make one video on Haidism where I try to sympathize with their experience.
And you're going to find some videos on this channel, on this channel that whenever we see a guy doing some dumb stuff, we call him out.
We try.
So we do that as well.
But you don't do it with the same energy.
No, we don't, because we don't have that same energy. That's not for us to do that. Like Abbott said, go find a channel that resonates with whatever you're thinking. But whenever we're going to see something that is blatantly stupid from a guy, we're going to call it out. Yeah. We're going to call, trust me, we're going to call. We've been doing that. We are doing that. And we're going to keep on doing that. But of course, our experiences are more based on what we live. Yeah. And that's that.
Even our fans are biased. Our fans, because they have, some kind of link with us, will sometimes ignore things that would say incorrect. I've had fans come up like, y'all are never wrong. I'm like, what? I think I'm wrong sometimes.
Yes.
How do you think that? But
I
that's
look
your
back,
bias.
I look back on the videos and I'm like, ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to fix that.
So it's okay to acknowledge these biases, but we have a responsibility to try to mitigate it as much as possible as to not pollute the waters. But it's impossible to get rid of all our biases. It's impossible. And I will never come a time where a woman's going to tell me her dating experience and I'm going to feel as viscerally strong as when I do when I hear a male, because I know what it's like to be a dude and go up to a girl and get rejected. So when I feel that type of like, damn, nigga, it's because I've been through that. So I can empathize. Of course it's going to look and sound different. So I always find it funny when people are like, you guys have biases. See? I'm like, yeah, probably. I believe it. I'm not immune to the idea that I have blind spots. I'm well aware. I just try to be aware of those blind spots and try to mitigate it, but that's all. I can't get rid of them completely. Nobody has 360 vision. That's why you got people around you to help you out. That's why I have women I talk to get some perspective sometimes, right? That's why you need people, because we can't look everywhere all the time. Can't be awake all day long. You need somebody else to take the night shift if you took the day shift. Working with Preach provides me that perspective that I don't get sometimes. You know, you guys hear me talk about marriage? A lot of it I learned from Preach. A lot of it I learned from literature. Why? Because he's my eyes in places I can't be. So lean on each other to work through some of this bias, but understand you can't get rid of it and you're not a terrible person for having it. But it's important for you to acknowledge it. That is your responsibility. What you think?
We said what we said.
Yeah, but what do you have to say? Because they feel like you got more to say.
You're stupid.
Nah, I just could tell. I looked at Preach's eyes and I could tell.
He was about to say something, and no, I really had nothing else to say. You said what you said. I'm not gonna repeat it either.
Yeah, but it's not like you a grown man. Like, listen, you got more to say. This is your chance.
Fuck out of here, nigga. Fuck out of here.
What's a bias that you've had other than your workspace? Any other biases that you ever had?
I'm pretty sure I did. I mean, work experiences, being, yeah, I'm pretty sure I have. Genders, race was the difference between biases and what was it?
No, a bias can definitely overlap with prejudice if that's what
Yeah,
you're saying.
they could overlap.
I used to have a bias against blonde people. That's what I've told you about before. But
Yeah,
yeah,
prejudice.
you know, I was just looking at a blonde person. I'm like, they must be stupid because
Where does-
media and all that stuff.
Where does a bias becomes a prejudice is the same thing to me.
Sometimes, yeah, can be. Biases aren't inherently that, because let me give you an example. You being biased towards your family member's word is not prejudice.
No, it's from lived experience.
Exactly, it's trusted. Some biases are natural and they make sense and they don't have to air. That doesn't mean that you don't have some prejudice. I certainly do. Doesn't mean that we have some biases that are bad. We certainly do.
Yeah.
But not all biases are created
Absolutely.
equal. You know, it's
Yup.
like you're gonna trust your child or you're gonna trust a stranger
A lot of people are gonna trust a stranger.
because they got fucked up relationships. But you see what I'm saying? Most people are gonna be like, my child would never. Bitch, we got him on camera.
You got him on camera.
No, he would
never.
Bitch, we got DNA of him inside the person. No, he would. Okay. Bitch, he's killing someone right now.
No!
It's like, what do you want me to do? Biases.
That's not biases. That's being blatantly blind.
And some people would look at that and be like, that's what a mom's supposed to do.
Yep. Biases.
Have your back no matter what. So, if you have a married couple, you don't want her to have your back no matter what?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde.
That's right. Y'all both go to jail. So, it's just important to have that
She
biases.
ain't going to jail. My ass going to jail alone.
I'm gonna just send her, and I'm gonna just send her letters, be like, I still love you, baby, while I'm piping somebody else. But you know what time it is. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. What are some of your biases? How do you guys feel about them? Let's talk.
Yo sabré reír, yo sabré llorar, yo sabré entregarte mi cariño. Negra que te quiero, negra presuntuosa, mira que me estoy muriendo, dame vida de tu boca, que me está pisando los talones de la línea.